I think it's mainly just sheer size. And well, there's a few things. Size, I think, is probably the biggest one that people just like to talk up. If you write a negative article about a smaller exchange, nobody cares. You don't get clicks. But if whatever article you put Binance name in the title and hopefully something negative, people click more. When it's positive, you say, look, Binance did this thing that was great. Nobody cares, right? So so to sell news has to be negative. And also the crypto, right? So anything that's crypto, they want to associate a negative spin on it. And the third thing is, unfortunately, like I look like I'm Chinese ethnicity, right? So one of my friends in the US, he told me that no, in the US, they care about three things right now: inflation, crypto, and China.
Since the FTX failed in November, leaving Binance as the sole cryptocurrency exchange, the company has had to contend with the torrent of fear, uncertainty, and doubt-inspiring news reports. Additionally, Changpeng Zhao, the exchange's co-founder and CEO, who has been in his position for 46 years, has been the target of some overt personal attacks. According to sources, Binance is teetering on the brink of collapsing in a manner similar to FTX, and it frequently uses customer cash, exactly like the now-defunct cryptocurrency exchange. Forbes reported a few weeks ago that Binance transferred $1.8 billion in collateral intended to support its users' stablecoins to hedge funds last year. In response, Binance's chief strategy officer, Patrick Hillman, told the American Business Journal that the transfer of money across wallets was normal and not a concern. The flood is still going on despite Hillman's claim and Zhao's numerous assurances and justifications. The most recent word on Binance layoffs came from Wu Blockchain, a Chinese crypto news outlet. Also mentioned was the possibility that the layoffs were caused by Binance's recent significant expansion and the generally deplorable state of the crypto market. As is customary for him, the CEO of Binance cited What Blockchain's report to refute claims that his company was having financial issues. For another day, another FUD, he wrote in a tweet. Binance has a bottom-out program that it uses to predict layoff rumors. People who are not a good fit for the company get the boot frequently. Even though many of them are excellent people or high performers, they could not fit in with our particular culture and environment. We have a certain percentage of people we have to push out as part of the program, which I push for every week. The Canadian business executive of Chinese descent noted that the exchange has maintained a profit since the fourth month of its founding in 2017 because he persistently advocates for additional cost-cutting strategies. As he stated in his widely shared tweet from January, Zhao was concentrating on 1, 2, 3, education compliance, product, and service while disregarding 4, FUD, fake news, and assaults. Zhao joined the Bankless podcast earlier this week for a thoughtful conversation. Among other topics, he covered the causes behind all the unfavorable press Zhao and Binance have been receiving. Binance is being targeted primarily, in Zhao's opinion, due to its scale and the wider regulatory crackdown on the cryptocurrency industry as a whole. Despite the fact that he acknowledges that investors have had a particularly difficult year, he offers a few tips to assist you better secure your money. With his exchange, he also provides some insight into the subject of transparency. Currently, we'll show you snippets from the thoughtful conversation. Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and enable post notifications so that you never miss one of our regular uploads.
Industry is early. In such early industries, there's always fraud, there's always bad players, there's always failures. And over time, the industry will sort of accumulate around a few large successful players. But then that's centralization. Today, I think Binance is too large. Binance.com, the centralized exchange, is too large. So I actually want to invest more in DeFi projects and make them grow. I think the future is DeFi, and they will be more decentralized. But at the same time, even if you look at DeFi, Uniswap takes 70% of trading volume in DeFi, right? So there are natural network effects there, but we still want to diversify. And so as an industry, it's better to have multiple players and at roughly equal sizes, more competition, more geographic distribution. So all of those will be better. And the more choices users have, the more competition there are, the stronger players will emerge eventually. So I think that's got to happen. Well, it is happening, but in the process, it's never smooth. It's always going to be issues. if you use a centralized platform like Tether, like Binance, we want to be as transparent as possible, but there are limits. So in the last year, we've done proof of reserves. We actually did a new mechanism of proof of reserves using ZK snarks. It was actually suggested by Vitalik, and we worked with their team to do that. There are limitations to proof of reserves. There are limitations to everything. So, and as a private company, we also need to make sure our privacy is protected, right? So if we publish all of our wallet addresses that we use, and you'll be very clear which vendors we use, and those vendors may be attacked by hackers. Our SMS providers, which has been attacked by hackers before, our email providers, which has been attacked by hackers before. So there are privacy, security, and other competitive considerations. We're not a public company. We may not want to open our books so that our competitor knows exactly how much we spend on HR, exactly how much we spend on security, how much we spend on marketing. And then, so there are considerations there. So businesses are not complete transparent boxes, right? So they will, and Tether, right? So which bank do they use? And 4 or 5 years ago, every time they release which banks they use, that bank gets shut down, right? So there are real operational considerations. I'm not saying that. No, I do think that Tether is too much of a black box as an outsider. So. There are those considerations, and then there are FUD. There's FUD that comes in, and then there's what do the users believe, right? How do we find truth? So fundamentally, it's risk management. If you're using a new exchange platform, don't put all your money on one platform, and don't put all your money in one DeFi project. So that's risk management. Don't put all your money in one wallet. So there's diversification, and there's learning about different the projects you interact with, learning about the platforms you use, learn about the ledger technologies, understanding those concepts. Education, I think, is the best thing. And then there are fraud, which are very hard to differentiate. FTX, we didn't see that coming. Luna. We could have seen that coming, to be honest. The design was flawed. You can't mint Luna to try to push back the UST. That doesn't work. Minting doesn't increase value.
Seems so obvious now.
It seems obvious now, but some people actually did point that out, but nobody listened. Well, very few guys listened. So now we're learning that lesson. 3 Arrows was a mismanagement of funds. They lost a bit of money on Luna, and then they went a bit crazy, or they went very aggressive. They lost more money over time. And then 3 Arrows probably brought down Voyager and Genesis because they moved a lot of money to them. It was a very convoluted web of loans, borrowing going on. I actually don't know the full story. I've seen bits and pieces of it. And then there was Genesis, and then even Gemini is somehow involved in there. And then FTX happened, which really exaggerated all of those things. So the industry does have systematic risk, right? So in this last 4 years, this DeFi cycle, there's a lot of borrowing, there's a lot of loans, there's a lot of high yield APY. All of those are high risk. So if you want high returns, you're gonna deal with high risk. So and also people should learn to judge businesses for what they are, right? So there are businesses that are very simple, that make money. Tether is one of them. They hold a large amount of reserves, and they just make money on interest rate that's billions of dollars. Binance, we run a slightly more heavier business. Our business model is very simple. People trade, we charge commissions. People can get a feel how many users we have, just by the amount of FUD that we get, just by the amount of news articles that cover us, etc. So people can get a sense. And we run a simple, profitable business model, and we don't need to do that. And we also don't have loans, right? We even put out a tweet saying whoever can prove that we actually have any meaningful amount of loans from anybody can claim $15,000. No one came forward. It was actually posted by a friend of mine, the founder of Beef Fury, George. And no, he's a friend of mine, but he's very independent from us. We don't have any business relationships. So we have done our part to be transparent, but the businesses have limitations on how transparent we can or will be. There is always a level of risk with any product you use, with any platform you use, with any contract, even using a bank, right? We've seen banks fail. And actually, we now know many of them fail. So I think it's really the fundamental risk management and ability to research and not get simple-minded, just read one article and believe everything in that article, both good and bad. All of those things need to come into play. But we don't teach our kids in school about this, right? So we don't the students are young kids are taught in school to believe what they read. And that is not good. We need to teach more about critical thinking, challenging everything. So we need to drill those skills into young generations. But I think as the technology are providing more information, more access to decentralization, I think all of those things are coming together. Yeah.
As Zhao said in his response, this is just another sign that the United States anti-crypto crusade has more cons than pros. How would you rate CZ's interview? Are you of the opinion that Binance is being deliberately targeted, or do you believe it is just another impending multi-billion-dollar collapse? In the section below, please share your thoughts and views. Aside from liking this video and subscribing to the channel, make sure you enable post alerts for additional videos. Thank you so much for watching.